Some of these people had been engaging with the VA. They went to their various congressional representatives. They got a lawyer involved called Pat Fresconia, who did hundreds of hours of pro bono work. So there's no dispute about the provenance of this document. This is an official intelligence assessment. Bridges the gap between Rendlesham and what's going on in the US right now, because it's a very interesting segue, I think. Some of the Rendlesham witnesses have, in recent years, said that they have some health issues which they believe are attributable in some way to whatever it was they encountered in Rendlesham Forest.
What kind of health issues?
You know what? I think because of HIPAA, I'm not going to go there. I think there are some things in the public domain, but because I'm not sure who said what, I think I'm going to decline.
Yeah, see if you can Google that, Alessio, see if there's public information, but that's fine. I'll take that.
For the moment, I'd rather err on the side of caution and not disclose people's personal medical dossiers, even if those people, it may turn out, have discussed some of this in public. But anyway, it's not necessarily critical to this story. I think what's critical to this part of the story is the fact that some of these people had been engaging with the VA about this to try and get their medical records, to get some sort of acknowledgement from the military that this had happened, and to see if they couldn't get more help and support with dealing with some of this. And rightly or wrongly, some of these people had convinced themselves that radioactivity at the landing site might be a part of this. So a lot of these people were interacting with the VA, and the VA were taking a very tough line on this and saying, we're not going to change policy or give help or because of a UFO story. And these people were, look, it's not really a UFO story. It is, but look, the chain of command knows about this, and it's in the files, and our senior officers, or at least one of them, saw and interacted with this, himself. So they were hitting some roadblocks. So they went to their various congressional representatives. They got a lawyer involved called Pat Fresconia, who did hundreds of hours of pro bono work to make Freedom of Information Act requests, to try and take this forward. One of Senator John McCain's aides, I forget her name, her first name is Cheryl. She did such a great job of working with at least one of the witnesses to try and move things forward. She was told, I think, these medical records are classified. And she's like, what do you mean medical records are classified? She handled hundreds of cases. Each senator or congressional representative will have on their staff somebody does the immigration, somebody does the VA stuff. Cheryl did the VA stuff. She knew her way through the system backwards, and she's like, I've never seen anything like this before. People claiming this medical record is closed. Not sure they ever did get it. Anyway, then I dropped something into the conversation. And I know one of the witnesses is rather upset with me because he thinks I was sitting on this information and should have said something earlier. Maybe I did, pardon me, maybe I should have said something earlier. I can't remember the timeline. But anyway, what I remembered was this, that all the time while these people were getting rebuffed by the VA and saying there's no evidence that this happened and there's no evidence that any of this could have caused any health issues, I remembered that there was a a declassified United Kingdom intelligence assessment of not Rendlesham, but UAP as a whole. I was involved in setting it up, but I had been posted by the time it actually got going, so I didn't write the thing. But we felt that there should be an intelligence assessment, just as you do an intelligence assessment on, say, Soviet, Russian now long-range bomber capability. Why don't we do an intelligence assessment of UAP? And we did. And I remembered just before I left, actually, just before I took super early retirement.
So this is long after you're off that desk.
Long after I'm off this desk.
It's like 0506.
Yeah, but it was May 2006, I think. It may, it may have been May 2005, but no, I think it's
Either
2006.
Okay.
We declassified, I say we. I knew that it was coming, of course. Declassified the final report of this intelligence assessment, colloquially known as Project Condign, Condign, but the full title of the study was actually Unidentified Aerial Phenomenon in the United Kingdom Air Defence Region.
It's a lot, but I got it.
Yeah. I remembered what was almost a throwaway line in that's the one.
Project Condign. Okay.
I remembered a throwaway line from buried deep, and this was like 468 pages long, but I remembered one line stood out to me very clearly, and it lodged in my brain when I first read it. I was like, this will come in handy, and it did. And the line, and I'm paraphrasing, of course, but it was words to the effect of, the well-reported Bentwaters incident is a case where it might be postulated that witnesses were exposed to UAP radiation for longer than usual time periods. So I said, wait a minute. I said to Pat Frasconia, the lawyer, I said, look, this has been declassified.
Whoa.
If the VA is saying, we don't have any evidence this happened.
There it is.
Here's your evidence. And this report was originally classified, I think, secret UK eyes only, so very high level, only one below top secret. And I said, look, there's your smoking gun. There's what you need. Pat, of course, was on it in an instant, and he went back to the VA and he said, hey, look, here is... And you can read it on the National Archives website, so it's not, or the Ministry of Defence website, or both. So there's no dispute about the provenance of this document. This is an official intelligence assessment that the British government has itself now declassified. It's hosted on their website and acknowledged as being the real thing. And here it has that phrase, well, the VA settled immediately. With at least one of the witnesses. I can't say who, and I can't go into details about other cases, again, because of HIPAA and data protection and things. But it's I guess I'm trying to say how there is a physical evidence behind this. They took the radiation readings, they recorded them in the documents, and they then were able to write this into the intelligence assessment and then present this to the VA. So
when I was saying physical, I should have been clearer about that. What I meant was kind of like Michio Kaku says, next time you see one, steal a pen, steal something, get a piece of aluminum.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like allegedly, but again, governments may have this stuff and we don't know about it, but the general public doesn't have anything verifiable right now that's physical in that way.
I never saw anything that I would characterize as a physical smoking gun. So unlike people like David Grush, well, even David Grush, of course, we can come on and talk about this, says he hasn't seen this personally. But let me just make this very clear. I have never personally seen anything which I know or believe to have come from an extraterrestrial spacecraft or
blink twice. Blink twice if you're lying.
No. Look, if I now blink twice naturally, people will be going, "Oh, look." But no, I've never seen a spaceship or a bit of one, and I've never seen an alien, live or dead. Sorry.